Hey, what's up guys, Max here, and I wanted to go ahead and test Franken-Castle Unawakened in this video. So we're going to be doing some Unawakened testing just to see his damage without the awakening, because I do believe that if you get him awakened and high sig, his damage is actually going to get increased by a lot. And it's not that you're not having the resources to do that or you can't do that. It's because and it's actually an ideal champion to do this, to get him awakened and high sig as possible, because of his prestige is also really high, obviously giving you better rewards. But yeah, let's give it a test. Let's see some of these fights. As you can see, this is in the beta. Access to a rank 4. So all these fights are going to be rank 4. We're going up against a Photon, because Photon is not the ideal matchup for Franken-Castle, but he can do it. And I think if he was awakened, he can definitely do this fight even better. So one of the things you're going to see me do is do a heavy. And that heavy, really quickly, we're going to be pausing and just talking. There's just a talk over about this champion right now. Is he applies an incinerates, and he, I believe, applies, if I'm not mistaken, 4 incinerates max with heavy. So each heavy applies an incinerate. But with Photon, obviously we know we can't really parry her. He doesn't have any mechanics or utilities to deal with Photon, so he's, like I was saying, he's not the ideal counter for Photon. But we're going to be seeing the incinerates, and you want to activate as many incinerates as possible. Special 2, as you know, maybe have 4 of those incinerates, and then special 2. But we're not going to be able to do that because we're fighting Photon. She's a little bit trickier. And then you also get a crush. I mean, there's a lot of utility from this guy that it helps him offensively. It does require, I'll say this, some finessing of getting to know this champion. But I am putting this fight up first, and the reason why we're putting this fight up first, because I want to show you something that happens through the fight. So here we have 1 incinerates falling off. Try to get another one there with like the block hit, but didn't happen. Here we have just still the 1 incinerate, so we go with the special 2. Now this should put me at 9, because on the special 2 he gets 8 incinerates. It does refresh any incinerates that he has active, and I keep talking incinerates and mentioning that because it is one of the biggest sources of his damage. Now the other thing here, you're gonna see, once you launch your special 2, immediately try to get to the special 1. But what you're seeing here is his special 1 with 9 incinerates, and he's not unstoppable. You do get a bonus when he's unstoppable and you launch your special 1. It actually does more damage. But here we're going to see it doesn't kill her. It just didn't kill her with not having the unstoppable active while launching the special 1. So it does have you dash back, and you know what, and honestly you get a lot of window, a lot of time to do this and kind of get that window of damage. Of course AI has to cooperate, but with the dash back and how he just kind of dashes forward, it really helps to kind of get you that opening. At least with other champions, I've noticed with Photon is definitely a lot more difficult than any other champion. But here we're seeing the same fight gone over, but this time we are gonna do the unstoppable on the special 1 and see the increase in damage. 9 incinerates here, and then we're just gonna go and try to race to a special 1, see if we can get it. And then that's the beauty thing about this, is you get the opening. I wish I would have gotten the opening there a little bit later. But one thing I do like, here we go. So we're unstoppable. We have the special 1. We're launching it at 19%. Look at the amount of damage we're going to be doing now. Dead. Big difference between the previous fight, when you don't time your unstoppable, with the special 1. And don't be afraid. I know it seems, maybe if you're watching this for the first time or you already know, the fact that he can crush any defender, it gives you an opening. So use that opening to get that special 1, if it makes sense. Once you get them and you start playing them, it should make sense. So the ideal situation with this champion is parry heavies, as long as you can parry the opponent, or heavy counter up to 4 as you're getting closer to a special 2. You're seeing it here with Mr. Fantastic, where we just parry heavy. We got 4 incinerates. We're going to go for the special 2. And then we're going to try to get those 4 incinerates refreshed, because the special 2 does that, and it applies the additional incinerate. So it gets us a total to 12, which is the max on any normal typical fight. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to crush them. Yep. And then we're going to go relic. to try to get to our special one. But he launches a special, so that's fine. We have to evade it. And then we just wait for the unstoppable. He unfortunately evaded it. We go for another unstoppable. And now we launch a special one with max incinerate damage. 41k damage there at the end with the special one. He can pretty much, I feel, do most. Actually, I would say all science champions. And here when it comes to Spider Babe, Spider Woman, you're gonna, obviously she's a definitely hard defender to deal with. You do want to not have her launch a special one, that's for sure. So we have a total of 12 incinerates. I'm sorry, 2 incinerates. We'll drop 1 now. So now we're down to 1. So we're gonna have a total of 9 incinerates. But pause it right there. Okay, what happened to the incinerates? Ensnare happened to the incinerates. They're gone, but we still managed to do a ton of damage. So even with 4 incinerates, we're gonna see if we can get to our special one, and then kind of add some incinerates here. But there we go. We added some heavies to just get to it. I think at this point, with even the unstoppable, not having the unstoppable and just going for the special one should KO her. But we're gonna take a look. And it doesn't. See how important the unstoppable and to the special one is? That's why you kind of want to always dash back. But when fighting certain champions, especially like Spider Babe, let's say she has like a special one ready, active, ready to go, or she's just right below 2 bars of power, you're just gonna want to go for the damage, not risk her getting like her throwing her special one. And then thing with the rock stacks, that damage that Franken-Castle kind of puts out there doesn't matter. He bypasses the damage cap, so he doesn't proc protection. Here we go with the special 2. We got 4 incinerate, so that's gonna give us 12. The only thing you just gotta pay attention in this fight is the rock stacks, and so he launches a special 1, and then we're gonna go relic, and then just hit him once. Yeah, evade the special 1, work into a special. There we go, special 1. And we need to go unstoppable. Special 1. Look at the damage. Okay. 12 incinerates. 40% health. And we're going to see the amount of damage he's going to do here. Perfect setup. Look at those burst damage. 45. That's insane. And he's dead. 47 there at the end, guys. So when it comes to Franken-Castle, I think it just requires a ton of practice with them. We're going to be doing a lot more fights. This is just a very quick, just Unawakened, by the way. So not seeing his full potential yet when it comes to his damage, because we're going to get to that. We're going to get there. We're going to redo these fights with his Awaken ability. We're going to get him to like maybe just 620. So maybe if you have an Awakening gem, some 6 stones, and then we're going to max him out to see the difference in damage. But I'm looking forward to that Awaken ability test for sure, because the increased damage is really lovely. He does get some defensive abilities on his Awaken abilities, which is really good. But yeah, I'm actually between October's champions, both Dracula and Franken-Castle. I do like the look, the design on Franken-Castle, but that's not gonna make me now like change the champion. I got burnt already. If you guys remember Spider-Punk, love the look, I love the design of the champion. And then when it came to damage, I was just like really let down. Even with the buff, kind of rebuffed that little tweaks that he got, it's still, it's not enough. But with Franken-Castle, I'm seeing that he's not capped, if you're going, we're gonna go against larger health pools. I think you're gonna want to play it a little differently. I already kind of envision how I want to play those fights. But yeah, we're gonna definitely get him Awakened to do those fights, because I do believe he gets a lot more damage with that. But those are my early thoughts on Franken-Castle. More excited than Dracula. Like the look. Will I chase the champion in the crystals and so on? Myself, no. But if you want to go ahead, I am gonna be saving for the Titan rollover. We're probably gonna open some with our units and cross our fingers and see if we get lucky. If we do, wow, that would be insane, and I would probably take him up to rank 3, especially for the Battlegrounds meta. We're gonna be starting the season. We're gonna be starting. It looks like all skill champions are just benefiting a ton in it. But let me know your thoughts in it so far, what you've seen out there from this video and other videos, and how you feel about them. I think, like I said, that dash back, dash in, and then just figuring out the timing on your special one. So make sure you maximize your damage. It's going to be important, but all that with any champion is going to come with practice and practice and practice. Take care, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.